mystery God. Absolutely no mystery God. There is no God in the sky, and there is no devil under the ground. Heaven is not in the sky, and hell is not under the ground. Heaven and hell are conditions of the mind, states of existence and states of being. So Jesus told us to stop looking for heaven in the sky. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you, and that we are the temples of the living God. That the living God lives in our temple, and he does not inhabit the sky, but he inhabits the higher realms of the heavens, of the realm of the secret innermost chambers of the subconscious chamber of the soul of man and woman. And this power bursts forth and emanates forth from him to set in motion a universal order based on principle and law. All of this set in motion by a divine power and a divine force that never dies. It's constant. It just changes forms. God is in man. Can't be in any man. He's got to be in the original man. Because if God is the first and everything comes from him, then he can't wait for anything else. He brings everything else into existence. There could be no white man if there were no black man. It is biologically and genetically impossible for the recessive white man to produce the dominant yellow baby. Biologically and genetically impossible for the recessive yellow man and woman to produce the dominant brown baby. Biologically and genetically impossible for the recessive brown man and woman to produce the dominant black baby. But that black man and his woman, the father and the mother of it all, can produce black, can produce brown, can produce red, can produce yellow. And if the seed runs wild or mutates in the womb of the black woman, can even produce an albino, something which is whiter than white, 180 degrees in either direction.
Flame over. Y'all asked for this. The release of the black drum. Come in, my youth, tell him.
People king walk with the fire. See your Babylon, let me run kill him. Watch your blood and run from me eyes. Africa for Christ and for the poor them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Dragon bring a flame from the pit of fire them. Enemies are paid for the murders. With black power gangsters.
My dedication to liberation, sever with constant elevation. Kill a cracker for my nation, this I'll gladly show and prove. Protect the saga, no hesitation. Rikers Island, destination. Many attempts, assassinations, and I'm still dropping Jews. Fucked up situation that you still think you Caucasian. What a disgrace to this nation, time to lynch another coon. Hands up, I can't breathe, still a bitch on your knees. Begging please, master please, happy slaves and buffoons. As I watch the devastation from your miseducation. As I call it buck breaking, won't bust a balloon. Phil nigga be a racist. No need to complicate this while you comfy and complacent. Back in chains very soon. Mathematically equated with precision. Contemplated, now you looking devastated. Let me tell you what I mean. Faggot niggas integrated. MOD be most hated. And I know you crackers hate it. God is black up on the scene. What?
People king walk with the fire. See your Babylon, let me one kill him. Watch your blood and run from me eyes. Africa for Christ and for the poor them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Dragon bring a flame from the pit of fire them. Enemies are paid for the murders. Black power power gangsters liberate.
Gassed up with elements, Panthers bang on presidents, niggas sleep in residence, knowledge, self, common sense, devil killer, frankincense, hold the line, did my stance, survive or die, fuck the rent, Babylon's testament, white racist judgment, King Samir the people sent, let me burn this government, teleport environments, crown royal highness, sour diesel cypher shit, then I build with lioness, then I kiss her pretty lips, soldiers hear me get your grip, plug out bag, extra clip, water filter, medic kit, soldiers pass the hollow tips, black dragon, bring the fire, feel nigga heating this, now I got my understanding, so that God completing this, niggas race treasonous, which masters ask you for kiss, I'm black God, you a bliss, may you all rest in piss, from the slumber terrorist, Kamala Harris, better witch, black man of feminist, black power gangster, shit.
Upa King walk with the fire. See a Babylon, then me want kill him. Watch your blood run from me eyes. Pick up for Christ and feed the poor them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Dragon bring a flame from the pit to fire them. Enemies obey for the murders. For black power gangsters liberate them. Upa King walk with the fire. See a Babylon, then me want kill him. Watch your blood run from me eyes. Africa for Christ and be the poor them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Dragon bring a flame from the pit to fire them. Enemies obey for the murders. For black power gangsters liberate them.
Flame them, burn them bumper cloud. Fire burn. Judgment on Babylon, yeah. Fire.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Oh, say, can you see white folks oppressing me as they spew for their lives and plan my people's demise, whose broad stripes and bright stars represent all the stars inflicted upon our race, a great people displaced. Now the time has come for the revolution as we march through the night and take hold of their lives. Barbie land and red and black and green, African flag wave. When we win the victory, forever RPG.
Wartime, 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 god damn it, wartime. Black Power, BB for Hodier, and death to white supremacy. Now, we just gonna get right down to it, just to goddamn do it, because it's a lot to talk about. And this session is gonna be titled, well, is titled, The Homosexualization of the Revolutionary. The homosexualization of the revolutionary. I know you're still sad. I know you're still sad about this old bitch, Queen Elizabeth. I know you still got snot running down your face. I know you're still crying crocodile tears. Now you got a picture of damn Cracker Charles on your wall, on your office desk. I know. You're still hurt. But I also know you're still a damn slave. A homosexualized slave. You know, let me tell y'all something. It's bring back memories. First and foremost, let me make this very crystal meth clear for you. I am honored. I am ecstatic. We can call it excitement. But I'm extremely grateful for the death of Queen Elizabeth. Let me make this clear for you, because I don't think you niggas understand. Do not ever fucking message me or question me on my thoughts on the death of this fucking whore. You should already know my stance. May that bitch rest in piss. That's my stance on it. Don't question it. Don't question me about it. That is my stance on it. Rest in piss, bitch. But it's sad as hell to see so-called revolutionaries giving your goddamn condolences to Buckingham Palace. Giving your sincere condolences to the biggest slave mistress in Europe. You niggas are still dead. Dead as hell. So take that goddamn dashiki off, cut them locks off your nappy ass head, take off all that African garb, take down all your damn fucking African mask and all that stuff. Take it down. Put it in a bag and put it in your garage. And don't ever touch it again. And I hope you niggas realize, and I'm talking to these so-called hardcore revolutionaries. Sit your asses down some goddamn way. Sit down, man. Because deep down inside, you still love this cracker. Yes, you do. When the commercials come on and little diaper, baby diaper commercials and shit, you the first niggas to say, oh, look, ain't she cute? Ain't he adorable? Yes, you do. White man come on TV, goddamn underwear commercial. Ain't he sexy? Fucking cracker bitch come on and damn underwear commercial. What you niggas say? Treason. Treason. Because anytime you talk about how sexy, how cute, how fucking adorable your enemy is, you are committing treason. Anytime you send condolences to your enemy's family over the death of your enemy, you are committing treason. Anytime you snot and cry and spit boogers every damn where, all in your napkins over your damn enemy, you are committing treason. Anytime you watching that old bitch's funeral, or any funeral of your enemy, and not in the mode of celebration of the death of your enemy, no, 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 you niggas is mourning over the death of your goddamn enemy. One of your most absolute notorious enemies. This bitch goes down in history. I remember one time, y'all, I did an interview from this coon ass station in London, who were portraying themselves as London's hardest revolutionary. Well, you know me. Oh, really? Let's find out. Let's find out how hardcore you really are. So as I'm building, and I start talking about this old bitch, Elizabeth, do y'all know this nigga said to me, the brother who was doing the interview, said to me, oh, we don't disrespect the queen in that manner. You couldn't dare come here to London and talk about the queen that way. You would be arrested for treason. My word is bond. That's what this nigga said to me. So y'all know I fried him, right? Fried his ass. First of all, fuck you and that old damn bitch you call a queen. I will come to London and turn London the hell out. I will stand in front of Buckingham Palace and give that bitch the utmost disrespect like she has never seen in her life. You don't know me, obviously. And there's one thing I will never do is kowtow to a white whore. You obviously don't know who I am. So that was the end of that interview. Yep, that was over real quick. That was over really quick. I want y'all to understand. I don't play. I don't give one damn, two damns, or five damns about my enemy. I pray for their demise daily. I pray for their destruction daily. I pray for their goddamn death daily. I don't care how they die. They could drown or get killed by a killer clown. I don't give a damn. Whether they mauled by a dog or ate by a fucking alligator, I don't give one damn. As long as they die. Period. See, your problem is you're too damn soft. You're like wet cotton. You're too soft. And until we become more merciless, are y'all hearing me? More merciless. Not just as merciless. That's not good enough. Not good enough. To win this war, we must become more merciless than the white man, than the Chinaman, and any man who's oppressing us. We got to be ready to kill without blinking an eye. But you got to know how to survive. You have to know how to survive. No way you could be a revolutionary and don't know how to survive. No way. Emphatically impossible. Hell, the white man teach you how to survive in his military. They make sure you know how to survive. Because in most cases, you are behind enemy lines. And a lot of times, you just may become an expendable. So how you going to survive this war? You could talk about killing all day. But how you going to survive? So we're talking about the homosexualization of the revolutionary. And since we're talking about survival, you haven't even survived that onslaught. Well, a lot of y'all didn't make it. Sucking more dick than ever. Eating more muff than ever. Revolutionary. Trannied out. Revolutionaries. Buying trannies for a couple hours. Or minutes. Revolutionaries. Walking around at the gay pride fest. Or you niggas have lost your goddamn mind. That's sad, ain't it, y'all? That's sad as hell. Don't you feel that? Like, damn. Make you feel some kind of way, don't it? Here you are sacrificing your life for the struggle of African people, and these niggas is on their knees. And I don't mean for prayer. Having butt boy meetings at them damn meet. In the bathroom playing with each other. In the closet playing with each other. In the damn meeting. According to Mr. Webster, homosexuality is defined as such of or relating to or characterized, listen to the word carefully, characterized by a tendency to direct sexual desire toward another of the same sex, of or relating to or involving sexual intercourse between persons of the same sex. So when you hear a nigga say, yeah, I let him suck my thing, but I ain't gay, that nigga's gay. Oh, but we're going to get a little deeper into that part in a second. Homosexuality. And I'm talking to you goddamn so-called revolutionary. I'm talking to you goddamn so-called woke folk. I'm talking to you goddamn so-called conscious Negro. I'm talking to you so-called Israelites. I'm talking to you so-called Muslims. I'm talking to you so-called gods and earths. I'm talking to you so-called retributionaries. I'm talking to anybody listening. Because this goes for every damn body. Especially you Hotepians. Homosexuality is a term that describes a basic and practical sexual activity preference. Homosexual are those who consciously and voluntarily engage in sexual activities with members of the same damn sex. Ain't no excuse in being a fag. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Homosexuality as a Western phenomenon that has now spread throughout the entire world. Maybe even on Mars too. A Western phenomenon, clearly, unquestionably, necessarily has a central and dominant sexual component. And that is what is important in defining it as an intricate part of the Western reality. What we hear presented in the media as to its emotional content is purely for their benefit of our confusion. Are you listening, dodos? Only a politicized definition of homosexual behavior made by those it is natural to define it first and foremost as an emotional grounding in love. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We must define things for ourselves. Well, that's what Black power is, right? Defining, developing, and defending that of which is in the best interest for all Black people, right? Okay. Now, understand this. Crackers are not looking for love. They're not looking for love. They're looking for dominance. They're looking for supremacy in all aspects. European love or European version or vision of love, as it's been stylized, despiritualized, and idealized in the West, it does not and cannot exist in human reality. So pure and simple, they're just looking for sex. You're just looking for sex. The entire world, everything you see today, right now, is based on what? Sex. On this stage, women who are looking for the candy store love fantasy through giving away their sex, using sex to get love. Using sex as bait, especially to men who are looking for that centerfold dream type woman. Y'all dig what I'm saying? So nowadays, love means sex. If your sex ain't good, you ain't shit. You may have billions upon billions of dollars, land and everything in place and order, responsible and accountable. But if you ain't taking it to Pound Town, buddy, you ain't shit. And they talk about you, spread the word about you. Why? Because today, everything in this society is based on twerk and jerk. So according to the reality of contemporary popular Western culture today, the definition of homosexuality should be correctly defined as consensual involvement in sex acts between members of the same sex. So it embodies those whose thoughts and practices which define sexual activity between either only males or only females. Homosexuals are necessarily individuals who engage in sexual acts with members of the same sex. It is no more complex than that. Simple. You don't need no big drawn out goddamn political definition as these motherfuckers try to make it today. So they make it fair seeming for you. They make it acceptable for you and to you. So now there's an onslaught of revolutionary faggots. There's an onslaught of revolutionary trannies, revolutionary dykes. So-called African-centered dick suckers. Man, listen. We gonna talk. We gonna talk. Homosexuality is not a pertinent or useful explanation for any relationship between members of the same sex in traditional African society. Did y'all know there's not even a word for faggot, lesbian, gay, dyke, any of that in any African language? But yet you let these niggas sit up here and tell you that homosexuality started in Africa? It started, we was on our knees fucking each other and all this kind of weird stuff back in Egypt, back in Kemet. And you let these crackers tell you this. And you believe it. And now here you are running around here talking about some goddamn, oh, well, if it was in Africa, obviously it was okay. That's because you want to be a fag anyway. And you're looking for any confirmation. You're looking for any justification. And you're looking for any kind of information to support your freakish psychotic mentality. Because any man that has sexual desires for another man, you're psychotic. And they need to put you motherfuckers on an island and completely fucking annihilate the damn island. Blow the whole island up. Take all you goddamn fairies, put you on an island and blow the whole goddamn island up. Have all the pride fest you want. Blow your asses up. This is what should have happened to you bastard crackers when you was in goddamn Caucasus Mountain. And the gods told Moses, you should have blew them up. You should have blew up the whole damn mountain. But he did not do that. Now look. It is not a part of the experience of any initiate into any traditional African rites of passage activities or even the co-wife relationship as imagined by Audre Lorde and other Africans trying to infuse European ways into the heterosexual African tradition. Even the best evidence designed to implant homosexual activity into traditional African society does not involve sexual intercourse or provide an avenue for the sexual satisfaction of anyone involved. Western Homosexual Scholarly Alliance has tried to make it so. What did I just say? Western Scholarly so-called Alliance. These so-called doctors and professors and scientists and this motherfucker over here and this fag over here and this fag over here and this fag over here. The fags have formed an alliance from every kind of class, every kind of societistical thinking. You suck dick, it's all good. Come on in. Western homosexual scholarly alliance has tried to make it so. Homosexuality is not universal in either origin or evolution. So we must remain mindful that whatever official definition we deal with by that simple but most important fact is only that the creators and spreaders of the phenomenon. It is they who arrogantly place themselves as the sole determiner of all legitimate definitions of sexual behavior. Let me read that to you again. It is they, white folks, who have arrogantly placed themselves, white folks, as the sole determiners, white folks, of all definitions of sexual behavior. Hell, they claim to be the sole determiners of all words and definitions, period. But let alone sexual behavior. It is arrogance that makes it a truly gratifying feeling of superiority to manipulate others while watching them enjoy and defend their confusion at their own expense. So be not misled or astray. Homosexuality is their classic behavior. If crackers had not culturally polluted the damn world, faggots would never have become an issue outside of Europe. Did you hear what I said? Urugu, Europeans, peckerwoods, crackers, by default, is homosexual. The cracker is an incomplete being having all of only the male characteristics. This makes him homosexual. There is no female in the European because except that which is defined as the opposite of male or which is copied from females among other people. So as made into a religious truth through the myth of Eve's creation out of Adam's rib, female peckerwoods are the cultural creation of male Europeans. So as such, they have been defined as the antagonistic counter of the male in his effort to acquire that part of self that he originally arrogantly forfeited. But what is most important to understand here is the impossibility of Europeans acquiring the female without becoming physically and behaviorally feminine, because the female spiritual contact will forever be absent from their male European being. Y'all ready for some more? Y'all ready for some more? Now, let's talk about the African confusion, the homosexual confusion in African males who have wittingly allowed other males to perform oral sex on them, but do not do it back. Now, I said we're going to talk about them. So here we go. Uh, hold on a second. Rolling through my notes here. So unwittingly allow other males to perform oral sex on them, but do not do it back. A point which also has implications for males who sodomize other males. Her character, Will, is a homosexual who is obviously confused as to his sexual classification. So in denial of his homosexuality, because he is not giving oral sex or being sodomized, he states his preference for males performing fellatio on him because men got stronger jaws. The nigga says that shit feels even better. Many of these closet jaw faggots or closet queens have convinced themselves that only the sexually penetrated or serving partner is a homosexual. You are homosexual by your willing act, your voluntary participation. So while you're standing there feeling good from another boy, you are a faggot. We're not gonna sit here and play with this shit. We're not gonna dress it up. And the sadder part is, I'm talking about the homosexualization of the revolutionaries. Those who knowingly participate in homo behaviors are homos, both or all participants. So the definition does not crumble or become diluted because you're an active versus passive participant. It is what it is. Ain't no loophole in the homosexual classification, except for those of absolute innocence who are violated, raped. And that's a complete different story. But we're not talking about those who have been raped. We're talking about the willing ones. The so-called, what they call it, bi-curious one. Nigga, ain't no damn such thing as bi-curious. You want to be a fag, just say, I want to be a fag. The hell you curious about? Having some man smack his balls all over your jaw. What the hell you got to be curious about? Doo-doo shoot. You niggas have lost your mind. You've lost your damn mind. In continuing our critique of the Webster's definition, it is worth our time to ask why the framers of this definition have intentionally left it so obscure. It is a known fact that confusion among slaves facilitates their control. And taken together, the various descriptions given of homosexuality are confusing and broad enough to disguise and de-emphasize its most peculiar and abundant practices among those for whom homosexuality has been embedded through their cultural gene. We live in a society where people have been taught to accept and not question, confusion as if it makes sense. And since this society has naturally followed a rich tradition and manufacturing definitions which suits its culture hegemony, giving the illusion of universality, we must consciously develop a more accurate definition that incorporates and reflects the unique, commonly recognized actions and attitudes viewed as homosexual while eliminating those deemed not. This is why we need our own. So even down to the meanings of words. Damn, we got to change the whole language. Because we can't say we're going to build a new world order or a black world order, whatever the hell you want to call it, and still talking the white man's language. So if we're going to get rid of everything about the cracker and his culture, that means this goddamn English got to go too. So somebody has to create a language. Or we need to go black to the roots. Even down to the definitions, they must be changed. Homosexuality began with European civilization. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It did not start in Africa. There was no such thing as Africa in Africa. But let me say this. There's fags all throughout Africa today. And I really hate to say that. And it pisses me I get really extremely pissed off every time I have to say that to someone or even talk about it. I seen fags standing in the middle of the highway when we were traveling from Joburg to Zimbabwe. Fags, man. High heels, open toe shoes, tight skinny jeans on like you niggas be wearing. Flashy ass tank top. I seen fags all throughout Africa, man. And I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it, but I had to. Because the reality was smacking me upside my goddamn head. Fags are everywhere today. Everywhere. Whether they're Latin fag or China fag, North Korean fag, South Korean fag, Afghani fag, Pakistani fag. Fag is a fag, man. They're everywhere. But it did not start in Africa. Y'all believe anything the white man tell you. Do you know they will spend billions of dollars to back up their lies? They will spend trillions of dollars to make their lies seem so real to you. So the question becomes, how much money did these motherfuckers put behind the lie that homosexuality started in Africa? And they show you some little drawings on some little piece of rock they made, talking about it's the Metuneta. See, it's written on the walls. You a fucking liar. You will not find that shit on no Metu Netta. Nowhere in Africa. You may find it in Rome. You may find it in the Vatican. Hell, you might even find it in your local church. But you won't find it in Africa. Not the Africa of the yesteryear, let me say that. Homosexuality began with cracker civilization. It was initiated by a number of proto-historical Indo-European people, out of which the Greeks evolved. They in turn passed it on to the Romans, who in turn passed it on to their children, the Europeans, who continued to spread it throughout the world as they forced their culture on it. There is no credible evidence, real or imagined, as to its origins anywhere else before that. Did you hear what I just said to you? This ain't up for debate. You damn sure don't want to debate me on this. So again, any nigga spewing out their mouth that it was faggots in Egypt and we was living that lifestyle, they should be goddamn lynched for treason. Now, of course, there are those who would argue that Greece was not Europe, that the Greeks were not Europeans. Anything white in sight that ain't right, goddamn it, is a European. These scholars who argue that the northern cradle evolved independent and of despite Greek culture believe that it took Rome and its taming of the uncivilized barbaric hordes of the European continent to create European culture, a culture supposedly unique and distinct from Greek culture and its African antecedents. We, nonetheless, strongly maintain that while it is true that ancient Greece was not physically Europe proper, Europe's asyli lies there. The fact that Rome and Greece predate Europe does not change the fact that they were its birth canal. And as far as homosexuality goes, Greece is the home of its birth into mass society. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Good old Greece. Huh? Look at you, sucking on a gyro right now. Look at you. Can't wait to go get you a Greek faggot. The raw faggot, straight out the cave faggot. The fact that Rome and Greece, I'm going to read it again, predates Europe does not change the fact that they were its birth canal. And as far as homosexuality goes, Greece is the home, the Mecca of its birth of homosexuality into mass society. Now, in turn, it is logical that we find in Greece, we find progressively more so in Rome, progressively followed by Europe and New Europe. Uh-oh. You say, what the hell is a New Europe? America. That's New Europe. You dig? So Europeans have culturally colonized all of these societies, and they bombarded them with homosexuality. They bombarded Europe with faggotry. Huh? Don't you know about all the faggotry that went on in the Roman Empire? Where did they get it from? They got it from the goddamn Greek Empire. And you know the Romans was treacherous with that faggot stuff. They didn't hide it. Hell, they made it law. Sticking their hands all up in the horse's ass, and man, y'all know the Romans was sick with it. And here you are today, Mr. Revolutionary, sick with it. Got your RBG flag on the left and your rainbow bright flag on the right. Riding in pride. Treason. Accordingly, looking to the world's historic record for cause and effect, homosexuality evolved out of the fundamental acyclic of the disrespect of women in Greece. There has never been a true respect for women among Europeans. Let's stop right there. Let's look back at the cave day, when they used to bust their women in the head with billy clubs and big ass trees and rape their own women and throw them down the goddamn cliffs off the mountain. Good. But this was their nature towards women. They didn't see their women, and they still don't see their women as we look at our women. So it's saying here that out of the disrespect for women came the birth of homosexuality. Whatever semblance of respect European women have imagined that they had existed for them in only one of three ways. Either they broke off pieces of their men's power and used it to browbeat attention for themselves, or they manipulated the hollow honor that comes from being used as fictionalized showpieces of beauty to model what fragile, dependent women are supposed to look like and act like in a form of prestige, or they boosted their esteem by allowing themselves to become the fabricated victims used by European males to falsely accuse other males of desiring them in order to lynch, segregate, incarcerate, or otherwise remove other males from economic competition with European males. Which one you think it was? Which one sound like it was? Cultures that are born with or develop a disrespectful attitude toward women, toward the need for them and their God-given humanity and worth, also manifest widespread male-to-male love at an intellectual and sexual level. Those imbalanced, highly individualistic cultures where men are given all power, nurture an extreme, arrogant vanity that produce homosexuality. So in European words, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And they should know, for European society is homogenic. Now, whoo, man, y'all want some more of this? Let's talk about accidental homosexuality. And I know you're saying, God damn it, what in the whole hell is accidental homosexuality, King? You going in, goddamn it, but now you getting a little crazy. What the hell is accidental homosexuality? You became a fag by accident? You fell and bumped your head and woke up the next morning and decided you want to be a fag? Are you talking about that kind of accidental homo stuff? Listen carefully. Prisons, monasteries, and nunneries, work camps, military stations, and other long-term single-sex situations are unnatural human environments. The Navy. Oh, you know you know it's some butt buddies in the Navy, don't you? Huh? The unnatural human environment. Why? Because the female was created as the counterpart to the male. She's the attraction to the male, right? So now you got two males attracted to each other. Somebody's psychotic as hell. So we gonna get into that. Let's talk about it. Heterosexual sex is a natural function for adult men and women. It is a biological drive. Yet, long-term single-sex environments and rife in European society historically. Unnatural environments promote unnatural thought and unnatural behavior. Let me say that again. Unnatural environment. Is prison a natural environment? Unnatural environment promote unnatural thought and behavior. So prisons therefore naturally breed unnatural sexual behavior. I was watching this series from Netflix called Brotherhood. Y'all should check it out. It's a lot of symbols. But let me tell you, it's also a lot of goddamn coonery. It starts off with this brother being charged with killing all these crackers, and you know that caught me from the rip. So I'm into it, and I'm not gonna tell it all, but on one of the scenes in the prison, the gang jumped these dudes, and you know these brothers was acting so tough, man. You know, just tough brothers, right? They gripped this white boy up, bent him over, and just so willingly, just easily slid their thing right into his poop chute. And they got in line to take turns. And all you see with his white boy head and shoulders just humping. Black man humping. Another black man humping. Just humping. So I found that so sick. But I had to understand this is what they call culture. An unnatural environment. breeding way unnatural behavior. So it has become so easy for a brother in prison to just take on another man. Because it's been made acceptable. The white man started that shit in the prison system. The Roman warriors going on long journeys, taking over different cities and countries and states of Europe, being away from their wives for months, maybe years at a time, had no one else to have sex with but themselves. What was that show called that used to come on? I think it was HBO. What was that show called? It was about the Roman warriors. It was about the Roman gladiators. Y'all know what show I'm talking about. But this damn show was so full of damn faggotry, grown men raping little boys. And they would show it. But if you paid attention, it showed you how easy and fair seeming it was for them, because cracker by default is homosexual. Now they got every goddamn thing they put on television promoting homosexuality. Everything. You can't watch not one damn show without a fag in it or a lesbian in it. And they're promoting in the damn show to make you accept it. So now your favorite show. Can you imagine? Man, let me tell you something. My favorite show as a child used to be Ultraman. I used to haul ass home from school to watch Ultraman. Can you imagine? They made Ultraman a fag. What that would do to the mindset of a child? Imagine Ultraman as a fag. Imagine the Transformers as faggots. What they gonna transform into? Dildos? A big sack of balls? Can you imagine? But this is how the cracker thinks. And today, everything is gay. Everybody's gay. Everybody's okay. And if you ain't gay, you the weirdo. And this is the society that we now live in. And you have become so comfortable with it. So now you curious. Now you want some balls up against your jaw. Look at you. Slack nuts. All over your forehead. But you a revolutionary. You about change for African people. You African-centered. You all this good stuff, good black stuff. You want somebody's dick on the back of your neck. We crazy as hell. Spartacus. That's the name of the show. Y'all remember? Don't sit here and act like you niggas ain't watched Spartacus. Yes, the hell you did. Spartacus. Mm-hmm. I want that to marinate in y'all head for a minute. As I'm scrolling through my notes here. Okay. So we're talking about the accidental homo. So it says Sigmund Freud used both the terms occasional and inversion. Occasional inversion and accidental homosexuality. Others may refer to it as situational homosexuality to describe homos' behavior that emerges under conditions where members of the complementary sex were not present. The question, knowing the homosexual nature of European culture, is whether it is really accidental at all. Because given the sex priority in European culture, the deep relationship between sexual exploitation and having power, and the use of prisons as the primary solution to the problem of impoverished and unruly males and females, it is no wonder that the prison in societies tainted by Western culture breed homosexuality. So there can be no better evidence of this accident than the greatest stories that a people write in praise of themselves. For example, European masterpieces are laced with homosexual characters and behavior. Those books dealing with their prison life and where they're disproportionately find their earliest and most prominent examples was Papillon, one of their most heroic stories of one man's fight with and victory over a corrupt system's domination over his mind and body, provides a true life example of the tradition of homosexual behavior in European prisons at a time when the worst criminals were sent to penal colonies for their far from their home. So we're talking about colonies who remind one of the ongoing privatization process in this county's prison today, country's prison today, where more and more prisoners are being shipped to prisons out of state and cross the country, something that only worsens the unnatural prison environment by further distancing humans from their spouses, children, and families. So, in contrast, men and women taken as prisoners of war in traditional ancient African society were not incarcerated. They were incorporated into society and to service to their captors until they earned their place as politically equal citizens with a greater choice of social roles. Prison was not an option in Africa because it was seen as a cruel and unnatural environment for human growth and development. That it took away individuals' humanity and sanity was understood. Traditionally, African society was so remarkably nonviolent and crime free that there was not even a West African or African word for jail or prison. Indeed, this peace and general harmony of African societies amazed and awed all European Arabic travelers south of the Sahara. So, in the lessons, we are taught that the cracker came among us and started telling lies amongst the righteous people. And this is how division and confusion and hatred amongst self came in. The damn white man bought it with his homosexuality. Africans built a number of civilizations lasting over 100 years without a network of jails and without a word in their vocabulary that meant jail. So what is unconceivable but true is the fact that Mbangi administrative policy did not, as it does today, have any concept of prison. The word prison itself does not exist in Bantu languages because the community believes that jailing does not help solve problems. It only destroys and kills the human inner being. Therefore, it was culturally impossible for sexual isolation to evolve through some freak accident of nature into an accidental homosexuality because of an absence of sexual isolation. And even more importantly, we shall see later a culturally and socially internalized self-discipline that elevated men and women above an insatiable sexual appetite was and has been in place for tens of thousands of years of African history. Not until crackers, outsiders, bought the lies, didn't I just tell you? Invidious inequality and injustice that beget penal institutions do we see the introduction of prisons onto the African continent. So along with this method of handling social problems came the infusion of a homosexual appetite in these same sex environments and to a lesser degree, African society. Now we're going to stop right there because I know I just filled your head up, but we're going to finish this. Oh yeah, this is a topic we're going to be on for a minute. The homosexualization of the revolutionary. So I hope you have taken note. Hope you enjoyed this class because there's going to be more to come and we're going to keep kicking your ass, fag. Fuck Queen Elizabeth. Burn Buckingham Palace. And may the white man continue to die a most horrible death. I love you more than you hate your black self. Wartime.